Right, a quickie. Die Another Day. It's got that, the date that we've been, so, I mean, it's just so crazy. October the 22nd, 2002, okay? So all the October the 22nd stuff, if you've been watching the channel, just absolutely insane, really. Anyway, found this. This is the radio release of Die Another Day, September the 27th, 2002, on Z100, whatever. Anyway, originally it was supposed to come out on 1010, okay? And again, 1010 is our Hoover Dam reference in the $10 bill. We had a bunch of 1010 stuff with Charlie Kirk, and on the $10 bill, when you do the dam fold with Hamilton, it actually targeted with the dam fold and the 1010. It targeted the area of the neck where Charlie Kirk was shot. Okay, so you go back and watch that that decodes in the background in the archive somewhere. But anyway, what was interesting about this though, obviously this 9/27, that's Meat Loaf's birthday for starters, and that's actually his 55th. Just like we've got Ewan McGregor coming up with his 55th on the 31st of March, which was another day we're looking at for Madonna, or something to do with a tunnel in conjunction with Madonna on 4/4. Okay. So anyway, that 55 is super duper important. And also, what would I say? From the actual release of the song on October the 22nd, 2002, through to Meat Loaf's death, it was 7,030 days. So that's the 7-3 numerology popping up with him again. Anyway, I only mention it because we've talked about Meat Loaf in previous decodes, and of course you think back to Fight Club and things like that, where Meat Loaf is playing the feminine character that dies, and that's all tied to the Hoover Dam as well. So anyway, it's just interesting, the 9/27 reference there. Also, the reason why I found this actually was because I was checking. If we go to the following day, you'll see something interesting. Madonna is 44 years. This is her birthday through to that day. She's 44 years, 44 days old. So from Madonna's birthday through to the release of Die Another Day on the radio, 44 years, 43 days, but this ties us back in with Meat Loaf. You go to the following day, so 43, you go to the following day, it is 44. I just thought it was interesting. And of course, there are a ton of interesting number jumps with the 10, 22, 2002, Die Another Day, number jumps that you can do, okay, from that song's release. Also, Madonna from what should have been the release date, supposedly, okay, her birthday through to the should have been the release date, 44 years, 55 days. Okay, so that's our pi cycle reference. This is Easter this year, 4/5. Okay, what else have we got here? Let me just show you a few random ones so you can see why that number is so interesting with the synchronicities with it. So that date is also Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd's birthday. Okay, he was 64 years old on the release of that song, and if you go from the song's release back to 9/11, it's 406 days. So the 64, 46. Don't forget, in Back to the Future, Doc's address is 1640 Riverside. Okay, so it's very, I mean, just interesting stuff. Okay, what else we got here? this so the big connection as well with that whole thing, and as I just said with Meatloaf there, the 7-3 reference. Well, we've had obviously a lot of stuff with Madonna with 7-3. You know, Elvis connections, because of course Elvis starts with 3. Elvis starts with EL, and EL is 73. Okay, and also Eli is the 173. Okay, now if we go to Eli Manning's, what I would say it was his the iPet Goat decode. Okay, Eli Manning and Madonna synchronized on this day. Okay, which is 10/22/25, which is exactly 23 years after the release of the song. Okay, which is 8,401 days. Okay, but this was the really big synchronizing date for Eli Manning with Madonna. Okay, she was 67 years old, 67 days on that date. Now that was our 6-7 reference. Now, funnily enough, if you go from the release of that song through to 4/9, this date for the Hoover Dam, you get just this random number here, which is 8570. Now, if you take that 857 and just check what it is, it happens to be the 148th prime. Now, you know, without spending hours explaining 148, this number is super tied into Lucas numbers. Okay, it's kind of a hidden date that's 28 days before 9/11, and it's kind of hidden in the number line of Lucas numbers. When you take and how do I explain this easily? Just put it this way: you can convert certain numbers in that number line to dates into dates, and then add up clumps of numbers that are either side of that date, and it will take you to, you know, this 8/14 date. Okay, which is actually the 14th of August, which is 28 days before 9/11. And 148 in Lucas numbers, 148 shows up a couple of times. Okay, and also not in the way that you would think, though, not as just a straight number, but to do with, you know, adding the whole, you know, different portions of the number line up. Okay, this is getting really wiffly waffly. Anyway, Lucas numbers all to do with Pluto. 148 ties in back in with Pluto. Yada yada yada. Super important. Anyway, super important. And again, Eli, the 23 years is 841. Just that number in reverse. Okay. So it's just stuff like that. You know, it's kind of around in circles. It's a bit convoluted, but yeah, I don't know what to say, you know, and stuff like with the 406 there and the 64 years. I mean, it's just, you know, that's kind of, it doesn't have to do that, you know. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Basically, the release of the song came one day before she was 44 years, 44 days old, okay, and we had all that connection with Charlie Kirk as well, with his death date and the white wedding, etc. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Remember that the white wedding is also the feast of Lazarus. Okay, so the connection back with, you know, the whole Lazarus stuff in iPet Goat with the bandages. Again, tying back into the 729 stuff as well, and this is also 729 in reverse here. So it's just stuff like that. And you know, I mean, There's just tons of stuff. I've probably forgotten to mention half the bits and pieces, but you know, that's the kind of, you know, kind of connections you see. It's just, you know, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm going to try and do one more video tonight. Okay, all right. Cheers, bye.